Hello students, this is the 66th lecture for SY BCom students. Name of the subject is Business Statistics, Semester 4, Unit 3, Lecture 1. Name of the topic is Transportation Problems. Special Elective Course 6, Subject Business Statistics, Course Code 246F. Name of the topic is Transportation Problem. There are 14 lectures allocated to this topic. Transportation Problem. See the syllabus. Transportation problem of minimization type, objective function, introduction, balanced and unbalanced transportation problem, initial basic feasible solution, using northwest corner rule, matrix minima method and Vogel's approximation method, optimal solution using Modi method, examples and problems. See the definition of transportation problem. A special type of linear programming problem that involves transportation of goods and services from supply points, say plants, to demand points, say warehouses. The problem involves determination of optimal routes to minimize shipping costs from supply source to destinations. Definition: balanced transportation problem. A transportation problem is in which total capacity of the supply points equals the total demand of the destinations. Next definition: unbalanced transportation problem. A transportation problem in which capacity at the supply points does not equal total demand at the destination. An initial feasible solution. A solution that satisfies supply and demand conditions and yet it may or may not be optimal. Three methods to find an initial feasible solution are: first, northwest corner rule; second, least cost method, or it is also called as matrix minima method; third, Vogel's approximation method or VAM. Theory of transportation models. A transportation problem is a typical linear programming problems where the objective is to transport a product from companies' different plants to companies' different warehouses. To illustrate how transportation problem can be formulated as linear programming problem, let us assume that a manufacturer has three plants P1, P2 and P3 producing the same product, and it has to transport the product to three warehouses W1, W2 and W3. Each plant has a limited supply, say S1, S2 and S3, and each warehouse has a specific demand, say D1, D2 and D3. Product can be transported from each plant to each warehouse, but the transportation cost vary for different combinations. So P1, P2 and P3 are the three plants which transport the material to W1, W2, W3, three warehouses. Supply of P1 is S1, supply of P2 is S2, supply of P3 is S3. Demand of W1 is D1, demand of W2 is D2, demand of W3 is D3. Let Cij is equal to unit cost of transportation from ith plant to jth warehouse, and Xij is equal to quantity of the product transported from ith plant to jth warehouse. So this is the table which we can draw for transportation problem. Here we are having three plants, plant 1, plant 2, plant 3, and three warehouses W1, W2 and W3. Plant 1 supplies S1, plant 2 supplies S2, plant 3 supplies S3. Warehouse W1 demand is D1, warehouse W2 demand is D2, warehouse W3 demand is D3. So X11 is the number of units transported from plant 1 to warehouse 1, and C11 is the unit cost of transportation. Same way, X12 are the number of units transported from first plant to second warehouse, and C12 is the unit cost of transportation. So the problem can be formulated as total cost of transportation is equal to C11 x11 plus C12 x12 plus C13 x13 plus C21 x21 plus C22 x22 plus C23 x23 plus C31 x31 plus C32 x32 plus C33 x33. Objective is to minimize total cost of transportation. The linear programming objective function is given by minimize z is equal to C11 x11 plus C12 x12 plus C13 x13 plus C21 x21 plus C22 x22 plus C23 x23 plus C31 x31 plus C32 x32 plus C33 x33. Subject to the constraints x11 plus x12 plus x13 is equal to s1, x21 plus x22 plus x23 is equal to s2, x31 plus x32 plus x33 must be equal to s3. Sum of the quantities dispatched from the ith plant to all warehouse equals total quantity produced at the jth plant. Demand constraints can be specified by x11 plus x21 plus x31 is equal to d1, x12 plus x22 plus x32 must be equal to d2, x13 plus x23 plus x33 must be equal to d3. Sum of the quantities transported to the ith warehouse from various plants must be equal to the required quantity at the jth warehouse. And this is the non-negativity constant. Xij must be greater than 0 for all I is equal to 1 to 3 and j is equal to 1 to 3. This is called as non-negativity constant. Establishing an initial solution. An initial solution is one which satisfies all demand and supply conditions and yet it may not be optimal. Three commonly used methods to establish an initial solution are as follows. First, the northwest corner rule. Second, the least cost method, or it is also called as matrix minima method. And the third, Vogel's approximation method. See the first method, the northwest corner rule. The rules for obtaining initial solution with northwest corner rule are: step 1, select based on the map conditions northwest corner square, that is uppermost left hand square of transportation table. Step 2, compare the figure of capacity in the row and the figure of demand in the column and allocate units equal to the capacity or demand whichever is low. Step 3, if the demand in the column is satisfied, move to the right square in the next column, and if the capacity in the row is satisfied, move to the square in the next row, and if both demand in the column and capacity in the row are satisfied, move to the diagonal square formed by the next column and next row. Step 4, repeat step 2 and 3 until the capacity condition of all the plants and demand condition of warehouses have been satisfied. See the example. A company has 3 plants A, B and C with capacity of 30, 40 and 30 units of single product per month. It markets its product through 3 warehouses P, Q and R with requirements of 45, 35 and 20 units per month respectively. The cost of transporting 1 unit of product from any plant A, B and C to any warehouse P, Q and R is given in the following table. So this is the table which is given to us. The question part is, how should the units be transported to minimize the cost? Find initial basic feasible solution using northwest corner rule. So the cost matrix is given and demand and supply conditions are given. See the tabular form. So we can say that as total capacity of the plants is equal to 30, 40 and 30, that is equal to 100 units, equals total demand of warehouses, which is nothing but 45 plus 35 plus 20, which is 100. The problem is balanced transportation problem. Therefore, to get an initial basic feasible solution, we use the northwest corner rule as we will rewrite the problem in this format. We'll start with the first cell, which is the northwest corner cell. The capacity is 30 units and demand is 45 units. So we can give 30 units to this first cell. So we will allocate 30 units, and as my capacity is exhausted, I will cross these two cells. But demand is still there. We need 45 units. So we will come to the adjacent cell BP. We can allocate 15 units here and we can cross this cell because my demand is also exhausted. But still capacity of this B row is for 40 units. So we can give 25 units to the next cell and we can cross the next cell. Come down because demand is of 35 units. We already have given 25 units. Still we need 10 units. That 10 units can be given to CQ. And come to the adjacent cell CR. We have 30 units of supply. So we can give 20 units here. So 30 plus 15 is 45. 25 plus 10 is 35. 20, 20. 30, 30. 15 plus 25 is 40. 10 plus 20 is equal to 30. So total cost can be calculated as 30 into 13 plus 15 into 14 plus 25 into 16 plus 10 into 10 plus 20 into 12, which is nothing but 390 plus 210 plus 400 plus 100 plus 240. The sum of all these products becomes 1340 rupees. Second method is called as the least cost method or matrix minima method. See the steps in this method. Step 1. Scrutinize transport costs and select the square with lowest cost. In case of a tie, make an arbitrary selection. Step 2. Allocate, depending upon supply and demand conditions, maximum possible units to the square having the lowest cost. Step 3. Delete the row or the column or both so satisfied by the allocation. Step 4. Repeat step 1, step 2, step 3 for reduced transportation table until all supply and demand conditions are satisfied. Now we will solve the same problem using least cost method. See, this is the transportation table we are having. Plant A has capacity 30 units. Plant B has capacity 40 units. Plant C has capacity 30 units. Warehouse P demand is 45 units. Warehouse Q demand is 35 units. Warehouse R demand is 20 units. Now see the first minimum cost cell, which is 8. For AR is the cell, demand is 20 units and supply is 30 units. So we can give 20 units here and we can cross these two cells because my demand is exhausted. Next minimum cost becomes 10 rupees. Capacity is 30 units and demand is 35 units. So we can give 30 units here. So my capacity is exhausted, so I can cross these two cells. Next minimum cost is 11. We already have been given 30 units here. So only 5 units are required. So we can give 5 units here in the AQ cell. And my capacity is there. 5 units are remaining, which can be given to this cell. And this is the cell which is remaining. So I can give 40 units to the last cell. And the total cost can be calculated as 5 into 13 plus 5 into 11 plus 20 into 8 plus 40 into 14 plus 30 into 10. So the products are 65 plus 35 plus 160 plus 560 plus 300. The total becomes 1140. In the previous case it was the same cost 1140, but many times it happens no. In northwest corner cell the cost is 1340, and in matrix minima method the cost becomes rupees 1140. So this is less than the first method. The northwest corner method generally does not yield optimum solution since it does not take into consideration cell costs. The least cost method, although, provides better solution by allocating as many units as possible to the lowest cost cell in the table, then to the next lowest and so on, but it has one drawback. Sometimes we are forced to use one of the highest cost cells towards the end of the initial allocations. The third method is Vogel's approximation method. Basic steps in Vogel's approximation method are as follows. Step 1. Calculate difference between two minimum elements for each row and each column. Step 2. Select the row or column with the largest difference. Step 3. Allocate maximum number of units to the square with the minimum cost in the selected row or column. Step 4. Cross out the row or column so completed by the assignment. Step 5. Redetermine row and column difference for each row and each column except the completed row and stone squares. Step 6. Repeat step 2 to 5 until all assignments are made. Use Vogel's approximation method to determine initial basic feasible solution for the previous transportation problem. So we will rewrite the same problem. This is my transportation table. We are having three plants A, B and C and warehouses P, Q and R. So plant A capacity is 30 units, plant B capacity is 40 units, plant C capacity is 30 units. Warehouse P requirement is 45 units, warehouse Q requirement is 35 units, warehouse R demand is 20 units. So 30 plus 40 plus 30 is 100, 45 plus 35 plus 20 is 100. So according to the method, we will select the first row. Here we will write row difference 8 and 11. These are the two minimum cost cells. So difference between 11 and 8 is 3. 13 and 14, second row, difference is 1. 10 and 12, difference is 2. We will write column difference here. Take two minimum cost cells, 12 and 13, difference is 1. 10 and 11, difference is 1. 8 and 12, difference is 4. So 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 1. These are the differences which we have got already. So we will select the maximum difference which is 4, and in this column go to the minimum cost cell 8 rupees. Demand is 20 units and sub capacity is 30 units. So we can give 20 units. So we will allocate 20 units here and we'll cross these two cells because my demand is exhausted now. Now go for the next difference 13 and 11. These two cells are remaining. Difference becomes 2. 14 and 16, difference is 2. 12 and 10, difference is 2. 13 and 12 and 13, difference is 1. 10 and 11, difference is 1. And this is exhausted, so we'll put dash here. Maximum difference is 2. Minimum cost is 10. So 30 is the capacity and 35 is the demand. So we can give 30 units here. and my capacity is exhausted, so I will cross these two cells. Next difference, 13 and 11 becomes 2, 14 and 16 difference is 2. This is exhausted, so we will put dash here. 12 and 13 difference is 1. Now the cells which are remaining are 16 and 11, so difference becomes 5. This is exhausted, so we will put dash. Select the maximum cost difference 5 and minimum cost is 11. So 30 has already been given, so we can give 5 units here. Now only one cell is remaining, so we can allocate 5 units here because the capacity is of 30 units and this needs 45 units. So the next cell which is blank can be given 40 units. So this is our initial basic feasible solution by Vogel's approximation method. We will find the total cost of this particular solution. 5 into 13 plus 5 into 11 plus 20 into 8 plus 40 into 14 plus 30 into 10. So multiply the values and add the products. So 65 plus 55 plus 160 plus 560 plus 300. So total cost becomes 1140.